Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News. Darrin Williams, plenty happening at Addington Raceway with our 2 meetings a week and a couple of milestones last week. Let's start with Katie Cox and getting to 100 wins and then getting to 101. Palatable was successful for the Ward family, and of course time up the hill, theirs as well, was brilliant off 35 metres.
Yeah, no, really good. She was terrific time up the hill. The maiden first up. Bred by the late Trevor Beaton, as we talked about last week. So a terrific run, got home really good. And yeah, rap for Katie Cox. She's had a real purple patch of form lately with her young horses as well, and doing a really, really good job, well respected, always pleasant to talk to and chat away, and great to see her really, really enjoy that. 100 wins, a real milestone for any driver.
Yeah, absolutely. And Colin and Julie De Philippi, now it was the late 90s, a couple of years after they tragically lost Darrin, of course, that they decided to go into partnership. Colin thought it was the right thing to do. They got a New Zealand Cup with Kim's Girl, and last Sunday with Bodine Quickstep, they got win number 300 as a partnership. And Colin's not one to blow his own trumpet, to make a big deal out of things, but I think he was pretty chuffed to get to that figure.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's got they've both got a really nice team of horses around. Of course, they've got those horses like He's a Sport and Here's Herbie and that to come back into the fold. But yeah, a really nice racing team around them at the moment, and I know that he was chuffed to get that, and Julie would be very proud of it as well. So good on them. Partnerships are a thing in harness racing. You know, the weights shared across the business now with a whole lot of people involved, and pleasing to see. And on a good day on a Sunday, they grabbed that milestone. Really good.
Couple of meetings this week. Just before we go there, and I know you won't want to go there, but your involvement in the sport spans over 4 decades now, I think. Probably showing your age here a wee bit, but you've decided to try something else, mate, which I totally respect, and we'll get a chance over the next few weeks to reflect on some of the highlights and some of the things that you've loved about the sport. But yeah, you're going to have a crack at another code.
Yeah, I am having a crack at the greyhounds with the job there. So, look, loved harness racing my whole life. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that as time goes on. I've been in it since I was very young, and obviously worked at the raceway, I think, when I was 17 or something like that. So, yeah, it's only 3 years ago, Greg, so it's not too bad.
What's the best horse? We'll start this little wee bit of trivia. What's the best horse you've seen in the flesh?
Oh, yeah, like everyone, it's very difficult to compare horse flesh. For me, the horse that I remember the most is Lord Module, for a variety of reasons. But the horse I fell in love with the most was Bonnie's Chance, which, funny enough, is Mick Guerin's favourite as well. Just in that era, Bonnie's Chance, Armalite, hands down, Lord Module, Premiership. Like, it just went on and on and on. Of course, Armada come along not long after that. So it was that sort of golden age. And we had a couple of those, obviously, in and around the Derby one year with the likes of Hilarious Guest and those sorts of horses. She was good enough to win a Derby as a filly that year with Mel's Boy and all of those horses. They were exceptional horses. And yeah, there's different ones you remember. Obviously, a horse like Christian Cullen reminded me so much of Lord Module because he had such a presence when he come into the ring. But yeah, there's a lot of them, Greg, and you forget how many good ones there are and how many huge performances we've seen. But probably as a youngster, Lord Module had that real I don't know, love him or hate him thing about him. But he was either brilliant or misbehaved.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll get a chance over the next few weeks to maybe go through the eras, maybe not the eras, the decades. That might be the fairest way to do it. Say, what was the horse you found in the 90s? Anyway, we need to find some winners for the people because that's what they're interested in over the next couple of days at Addington.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Race Friday and Sunday, as we say. Friday is a big meeting. Of course, we get underway race 1 at 5:15. So we're going to get into the full meeting preview. Before we do that, did you have a couple that you had for us?
I'm going to stick with Benny and the Jets in race 6. I think a great each way chance. He's got his confidence back now, and there's only Den Bones off the front. So Yeah, I reckon it's a pretty good each way chance. And Beach Flyby takes on a good field, really good field. American Me and Life's a Beach and the like, but he's a smarty Beach Flyby. I reckon he'll continue on his winning way. So there's a couple about the middle of the program.
Okay. Race number 1 gets underway. 5:15 IRT, your horse, Our Passion, mobile pace, 1,980 metres.
Yep, horse resuming here, Cougar Express to continue the run for Mark Jones. Gemma Thornley doing the steering. Nice barrier draw, had a good battle with Tower of Love at the trials. They slipped home in 56 and change, and I reckon it's just about forward enough to win this. So I'll go for it on top. Chocoloo's done nothing wrong since winning its maiden and has looked quite good in its next couple. So there's definitely another one or two there. So I'd have it in the mix. Interesting runner, One Love, One Life, from the Carl Hanna barn. See a couple of Southerners venturing north with no racing there this week, and this son of Some Beach Somewhere is racing really well. So I wouldn't count it out. Just ahead of it, though, I had Live On Legend, who was fresh up last time, put in a pretty big run to try and get handy and just battled the last bit. I reckon with natural improvement, it'll go close in this too. So I'll mark them 2, 6, 9 and 1 in the first.
Race number 2 is the first leg of the early Quaddie, Hydroflow mobile pace, 1980. This one at 5:40.
Yep, done a bit of form for this, and as you often find, that the trial form is imperative, particularly the 2-year-olds, and I like one in this, Sweet Home Alabama. I don't think you'll get a big price about him, Darrin, but if you go and have a look at his most recent trial, gee, he was good. He ran past an All-Stars runner, We Have the Faith or something like that, and just blazed on by. Now, the overall time and the last half wasn't off the clock or anything. It's just the way he did it. And I reckon he'll take a power of beating with Blair Orange driving. So Sweet Home Alabama, it's a cracking song, and he's a pretty good horse. So I'll go with it. To beat its stablemate, Kauai Nugget, who, you didn't need to be rocket science to see how unlucky he was last week back on the inside. He's got barrier 9 this week and a few decent horses drawn to his inside, so won't make it easy. Field Major's one of those. First up run, excellent for 4th. And the finisher's got barrier 1 and has really had no luck in all 3 runs today. I reckon barrier 1 might suit. Tucked in on the markers there. One crack at them. The finisher's definitely got a first 4 hope. 5, 9, 7 and 1, but a smarty there by Sweet Lou, Sweet Home Alabama.
Doing a great job, Mark Jones, as we talk about week in and week out, winning races all over the place. Race number 3, the Bog Trot, part of the Oxford Group of hotels, as part of our sponsorship this year. 2,600 metres, 6:05.
Quite impressed by the way Ideal Stewartia returned to the races last week. I thought she really raced with a lot of merit. And speaking to Roger Austin, he said, I think she might need one. And I reckon he was right, but she still went very good. I think she'll be a nice each way price, so I'd be happy to have something each way on her. Light of the Moon was excellent last week. Domination's cool, won that race, but Light of the Moon really hit the line strongly, so it's got a chance. Katie Hawk was slightly unlucky, so I'd give it a hope too. I spoke to Bob Butt. He said he'll win a race this time in, no doubt about that. It's just when he gets the right sort of circumstances to do that, and Alatine's always had the talent, so don't count her out of a top 4 chance. I know I've left out Mighty Logan, who's racing really well, but it's quite a good field, this. Make My Sundown. Yeah, there's a few there that have definitely got a chance, but I'll have them 3, 5, 6 and 9. Interesting go, though.
Race number 4, Woodlands Breeding, A Better Future, mobile pace, 1980, 6:35, a maiden fillies and mares race. Greg, Woodlands part of the arrangement that we have supporting fillies and mares races. I'd have to say an up to 70 fillies and mares race on the program. I think it attracted 1 nomination.
Yeah, that makes it pretty hard to justify putting on fillies and mares races that we keep getting told you need. However, we can't knock the people in the maiden grade who have nominated for it. So we'll talk about those. And Tornado Banner's the one that is probably going to be the one to beat here. We know it went around in the Cup Day maiden, fresh up run behind Creed, excellent, trialled nicely before that, has a good barrier. Sarah O'Reilly, I don't need to tick too many more boxes, really, so I'll go for it on top. To beat Rosie Richter, who trialled nicely, and behind Rita, they got home in 57.2, and Rosie Richter was nice. I think it's got an each-way chance. I know it's another Mark Jones runner, but He'll have a big part to play in the early part of the program, at least. Sweet Louise has trialled nicely. It's out of a nice family that Steve Dolan's got, and from a handy barrier draw, another Sweet Lou, decent chance in this. And I tossed up between Judine, who went round last time behind Millwood Nike. That should be enough to raise your eyebrows, and Kalatra, who I thought was pretty good first up too. But I just went for the better barrier draw with Judine out of the Dun Barn. 2, 6, 3 and 4 in the fourth.
Race 5 is the last leg of the early quaddie, the Tyre General Mobile Pace 1980 701.
Yeah, it's a smoke on the water's turn this week. He's been good. He won fresh up and was great. He came from back in the field on the markers, had to go around them. And since then, he's drawn wide pretty much every time. He's got barrier 9 his last two, and he's just gone terrific in behind Watermelon Sugar and Beach Flyby. None of those horses are in this. I think it's his race to lose. So he's one of the better bets on the night, smoke on the water. To beat Sweet Coco, who's been excellent in all 3 runs today. Marin Franco and Midfruit Louisiana Bell. Now, they get into this race beautifully. It's up to 56, and they're both on that rating, and they've come up with barrier 1 and 2. So they absolutely have got a winning chance and a massive first 4 chance, both of them. 5, 6, 2 and 1.
Race number 6 is the Fahey Fence Hire Handicap Trot 2600 at 7:36.
Yep, gone for Benny and the Jets. Improved Friday into Sunday, and I reckon that curve will continue. The half hobbles have certainly benefited the son of a Quaker Jet, John Howe, and a Colin DeFilippi combine again. Big chance, Benny and the Jets. Sonny Louis is the best in the race. I don't think anyone would dispute that. He just needs to bring his best form to the races. He was fresh up last time. I reckon with natural improvement, he can win it. There's absolutely no doubt he can win it. I just thought Benny and the Jets might have the race fitness on his side. Sebastian Coe was a good winner last time and continues to race well. I reckon it's got a pretty good winning chance. That was its fresh up run, so can't do any better than that. And Masterclass got it wrong last time, but does have the ability to win a race like this. 2, 3, 9 and 4.
Race number 7 is the first leg of the late quaddie, the Philip and Glenys Kennar Bloodstock Mobile Pace, another 1980 at 8:01.
Yeah, Beach Flyby for me. I know he's a 3-year-old, but in the old he's nearly 4, and he's got a massive motor. There's a bit of speed here. Evangelist gets off the machine pretty quickly. American Me Life's the Beach and Sweet Bell all wide out. So what they do early, if they don't go forward, Darrin, and they just leave this horse in front, he'll win. So I'll go for him on top. He's got a lot in his favour here from that barrier, and I think he's a Derby prospect, and therefore, at this level, he can definitely win it. So I'll go for him on top. To beat American Me, first up for Brett and Tim White was great. The last 150 metres, he rocketed to the line. Ted's Legacy's hard to get past, regardless of what race you're in. He was able to do that. Life's the Beach is a winning chance with the right sort of run. And she's a quality mare, and Sweet Bell just keeps on going great. And Sarah O'Reilly's doing a terrific job with Jared still on the mend from the hip replacement that he had. I've left out Deny Everything only because I just like if it trails Beach Flyby, probably run second. But maybe Beach Flyby won't stay in front, and that would put him back on the fence. But yeah, he's a chance too. 1, 7, 8, 9.
Race number 8 is the Paul Renwick Joinery Handicap Trot 2600, and this one at 8:30.
Yep, good, strong sponsor of Addington Raceway, as we know. Out of My Way has continued to improve. A brave second behind Time Up the Hill, beat the others just as easily. Yep, definite winning chance in this. The 3 to beat runner number 9, which is Royal Dell. First up run was good. A lot to like about that. He'll improve off that too, and he can go very close to a race like this, I think. Madeline Stowe stormed home again, just got too far back. She's just racing in career best form. And the Bloss just keeps on doing what the Bloss does. Steps, puts herself there. Sarah O'Reilly gets on great with her. It's a good race though, D, because you got Domination's Call and the Dominator off the back mark. And I know Galway Girls come out, but Magic Dash has won 2 of his last 3. Yeah, it's a good race, but I think Out of My Way can win it.
Yeah, Domination's Call and the Dominator, both out of Domination, of course, so half brothers, and part of that Murray Tapper dynasty of those horses, syndication, domination, all of those horses. Gee, they're consistent animals, Greg, out of that breed.
Yeah, absolutely they are. And I sort of made a mistake last week, and I apologise. I just thought 35 behind time up the hill. I thought she'll end up last and she'll have to come wide. And Katie Cox completely changed that. Just whooped around them, got the lead, ran them into the deck down the back and bolted it. So maybe 20 metres is not enough for these two either, but I'm prepared to go against them because there's enough quality off the front.
Yeah, they're even fields, these races, aren't they? Race number 9, so KB Electric's Mobile Pace 1980, 8:58. KB Electric's part of a big sponsorship arrangement here now at the Raceway, Greg, and we're going to hear more and see more about them as we move through the next season.
Yeah, absolutely we are. Ice Cream and the team, and they've got their sign down the back straight. And, yeah, they really love the sport, which is cool. Hoka LeBron has come up with a good barrier draw. We've missed seeing him a couple of times. He's had a bit of a hoof problem, and he's in this week, though. He's a 3-year-old with ability. Cran telling me he can get a bit hot. He wants to get it over and done with, but from that draw, he should be able to press forward and get the lead. And if he does, he'll take all sorts of beating. I keep going back to that Ashburton run where he got beaten in the stakes race down there. He was great behind Sharper's attack because he never stopped running, Darrin, and they ran a very, very good time that day. So I'll go with the Hoka LeBron on top. The Coleman's got a good barrier. I think he can get across palatable at the start, and if he gets the trail behind a Hoka LeBron, it looks a Quinella, a logical one for me. But there's other talent in this race. Bryce's Medal's a really good horse. He wears the spreaders, and you might look at him out on the track and think, oh, I don't know about backing him, but gee, he's done nothing wrong in his 4 starts to date, or 5 starts to date. He'll just keep on getting better, I reckon. And you've got palatable drawn 1, who's just going to be in on the markers, and what better draw for a horse first up, stepping out of maiden grade. So it's definitely in there. The interesting run is Delightful Star. She has got plenty of talent. She's got plenty of breeding. She's trialled up okay. That Willison trial form, I think, will be pretty strong because Willison was brave in 3:16 on Sunday when it got beaten. But, yeah, I'd give Palatable a chance just ahead of Delightful Star. So 4, 2, 5 and 1.
Another even field. G. Creed can't draw a marble, Greg. He draws the second line around wide.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Race number 10, the First Direct Taxis Mobile Pace 1980, the last getting underway at 9:25.
Executive Banner is overdue a winning turn, 3 seconds this time in. Very good last week. And behind Ain't No Angel, who is just too good, really, from the barrier. It was always going to be the case, but Executive Banner didn't give it away. So he is, without doubt, the one to beat in this, to beat Bondi Luster, who had a tough week going around in the amateur drivers, but has been freshened up slightly for Ivan Court. So that might be the difference here. And prior to that, had been racing really well. Big Mama Morris just keeps going good races. You've got to have it in. And off the second row, I thought Ava Adore could pick which one that Katie wanted to get onto the back of, and therefore it's got a chance too because it can find the line 7, 3, 6 and 10. But not an easy night, but there's some money to be made there, D, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. Another competitive night with quite even field spread right across the card. Spectators, of course, open after the last race and will be again on Sunday for Diamond Racing Stables Race Day. This one, Robert and Jenna Dunn and John Dunn, of course. They'll have their guests, and they've come up with some unique race names, of course, as well as reminding us of Sunday Sun and the like. And one of the races that's on the card this Sunday, of course, is the Bev Little Memorial. Bev, such a huge part of Addington Raceway, passed away only recently, and we'll remember her with a memorial race as part of Diamond Racing Stables Race Day on Sunday. Greg, you're going to have a look at that late quaddie for us. Race 1 gets underway 12:52 on Sunday. We're all over at 4:09. As I say, spectators open after the last, but that late quaddie begins on race 5. The Ross and Angela Gordon Mobile Pace, big supporters of the stable.
Yep, we'll have a look at the late quaddie as we have each week. And again, they're not easy these Sundays. We're just trying to give you a bit of a steer. We haven't actually nailed one quaddie, but we seem to be getting 3 legs. It might have only been 2 last week. But, yeah, we're just trying to give you a steer in the direction that you might want to. My advice would be to take a percentage quaddie if that is the way you want to go. And just back to Bev Little, she was a behind-the-scenes type person and operated all of the tote staff pretty sure it was for the South Island, or certainly was for the Greater Canterbury region anyway. And I'm going to show my age here. I started in the mid-90s. Bev was there in the front office, and she was always great to deal with, always organised the top operators that you possibly could. Nightmare at times trying to get, 150 or 200 operators for Cup Day and that, but she did it with great aplomb. And I'm really pleased that we've got a race to acknowledge her contribution to Addington, to her family, and looking forward to race number 3. But you're right about the Duns. The first leg of that Lake Quaddie is the Ross and Angela Gordon and other people that have really supported RJ and Johnny and Jenna for a long time now. And they've got the H's, Heisenberg and Henry Hubert, amongst plenty of other horses they've had there. So, I know how pleased they were to put Ross and Angela's name on this race. I went for Judgment Bay. Chris McDowell, this daughter of Christian Cullen, I thought was pretty good last time. Second, was pretty brave. Wouldn't need to lift much off that. That was behind Precious Bell and gets into the right race here. So I'm pretty keen, pretty happy to have it on the Quaddie ticket, along with Hilda Maud, who was really good last time and wouldn't need to lift much off that performance. Blair Orange drove on that occasion, found the line really strongly. And the other one I want in that first leg is He's Santa's Excuse, because you'll be watching the race, and if He's Santa's Excuse is in the right spot, it can really unleash. So, it's a tricky first leg, D, but I'll mark them 7, 11 and 14 in the first leg. Let's go to the second leg.
She was 155-1, Greg home, Hilda Maud, her last mile, fastest pacer last weekend. Flashing light from the ultimate race book there, and if they can do that once, they generally can do it again.
Yep, and she would have felt good about it too, because it was just one run at them. She wasn't absolutely all out. So I definitely want to have her in that second leg. The Diamond Racing Numero Uno owners. You're thinking, what the heck are they going with there? But RJ's on holiday, isn't he, in Italy? So he sent that all the way from halfway around the world. So that's why the race name is that. 4 and 8 for me. Wind Me Up, Racing Great, Black Mac the same. So I reckon you can go as narrow as those two, Darrin. It's a good race, but I don't think you need any more than those two. To the third leg, which is the Diamond Racing Thanks the Vets Smithies, which are they're blacksmiths, of course. Amongst them, Craig David Edmonds, who looked after the mighty Sunday Suns so well, and their breakers, which is Ross Houghton, the man they call Scruff. So that's the 7th on the program. I had them 3, chance on me. Very big winning hope from there. Winnie's back, who couldn't have done anything more than win on debut, and it beat a decent sort of maiden field there. And Style Council has been racing great for Kyle Cameron for a wee while. To the last leg, just the 2, Straight Flush and Precious Bell. I'm just going to take those 2 and try and make it a shorter quaddie, not cost so much money, D, because, I haven't got a lot. Money, that is.
The Sundays, sometimes, Greg, you look at them and you think, there's 5 or 6 standouts, and it never turns out that way. They're really competitive race meetings, and people are enjoying them. As we say, we've got the Spectators Open with the Dunn team in there, Diamond Racing, plus plenty of room for everyone else. It's always creating a good atmosphere on these Sundays, so good fun. We're going to leave you with the weekly video on the way out. This one, Katie Cox grabbing her 100th win with Palatable. Pleasing to see, and we've had a lot of celebrations recently with milestones, Greg, and this one no more so with Katie. Have a good night on Friday night and on Sunday. I think, Greg, you're heading across the ditch to cover the constellations, but we'll call in and do the Addington News this way for the next couple of weeks. But have a good trip over there.
Yeah, we'll do, and I'll try and find us a few winners. Don't forget Hot to Trot in Manhattan, two horses we know well here at Addington Raceway. They go around Saturday night. They wouldn't be without a chance, both about $8. So, we'll talk to you from sunny Queensland.
Have a good weekend.
Vatican Green breathing down its neck. Held up Ko-Fi Nugget. Sticking on Elephant in the Room, and wider out then is Palatable. Victor Lustig the leader. Vatican Green going for an inside run. There's no run there for Ko-Fi Nugget. Palatable sticking on strongly. Vatican Green. Palatable drives hard the outside. Here's the 100 for Katie Cox. Palatable wanted a brave debut. Beat Vatican Green. I fancy Ko-Fi Nugget, and then came Victor Lustig from Louis Vista. The finisher found the line well. Then came Alex Christina from Elephant in the Room, followed in by Ultimatum Patero, Spiritual Bliss, and the better major.